Welcome and welcome back to Cooking with Frenchy, cooking and baking made easy. I hope you had a wonderful week, and this week I want to share with you one of my little secret and technique about how to make bread at home. Not sourdough, just simple dinner roll, lunch rolls, and also little baguettes. You can make it very easily in a comfort of your own kitchen. So if you're like me, you're like these little baguettes. Ah, look at that. You tell me, you follow me, you like this page, you subscribe it, and you share it to everyone. Look at those little buns of pleasure. Look at that. So follow this recipe. I'll be there soon with you. So for our bread roll and different shapes recipe today, all we're gonna need is 4 ingredients. Some strong flours or baker's flour with a very high content of gluten, 11 to 14% if you can find it. Some filtered water here. I've got some salt and some fresh yeast. If you don't have fresh yeast, you can use dry yeast. You just divide the amount of yeast by half. So here I've got 600 grams of flour, 350 grams of water, 15 grams of salt, and 22 grams of yeast. So if you use dry yeast, just 11 grams should be enough and do the trick. So first of all, place your flour into the bowl. You can sift it if you want. Here I'm going to use a KitchenAid equipment for it. You can use a mixing bowl or you can use your hand. I'm going to show you as well how to do it by hand if you need to. So the first things we're going to do is to place the dough hook onto the machine. Make sure it's saved, and we are going to add your salt. We don't want the salt to be in direct contact of the yeast. It's so important. Salt kills yeast. Place the salt and give it a quick mix. Just like this, it's enough. So the salt is mixed. Now all we got to do is to put all the ingredients together. So some people will tell you you should dilute the yeast with the water. You don't have to. Don't waste your time. Professional bakers don't do it at all or rarely. So put all your water at once. It can be lukewarm or tepid, which means about 28 degrees. Yeast really like warmth to work and work faster. You can also add your yeast, just like this. As fresh yeast is nice if you can find it, but it's not rule for this recipe. So what we're going to do here is we are going to mix for 5 minutes at speed 1 on the KitchenAid, maybe speed 2 or 3, and then another 5 to 10 minutes at speed 7 or 8 on the KitchenAid, or speed 2 if you have another machine. This is, we are going to look for a dough that it's silky, smooth, and doesn't stick too much to the bowl. So it's very important we work it. And I'll show you how you can do it by hand if you want, but that will be a 20 minutes workout. So be ready. And I will talk to you later about what we call the window check or stretch to make sure you understand when your bread dough is ready. From this bread dough, I'm likely to show you how to make a few different shape of rolls or presentation. I will show you dinner roll, I will show you lunch roll, it's just different in size, and how to shape a little baguette. There you go. Secure the machine and speed 2 on the KitchenAid. Let the mixer do the magic. So that process is called kneading. So I will show you now how you can do by hand if you want to. So we're looking for dough that's smooth. It's not quite smooth yet, and I'll show you how and why, what we call. So if I took the dough to my bench, let's get that. Take a little bit more flour. Put in my hand, and if I take a little bit of the dough, what I try to do is I try to stretch it, and that's what we call the window check. Is to see if the gluten strands are getting thinner and smoother. So we're looking for something it's a clear window, not too much web line. So I don't know if you see here, but we got a lot of web lines. So that's will make our bread not smooth. We won't have a smooth bread if we keep it like this. So we need to go a little bit further in the process of kneading. If you are doing that by hand, you could put a little bit of flour on your bench, and what you do, you stretch the dough, bring it back. Stretch the dough, bring it back. Stretch, stretch, stretch. That's really kneading process. It's ready to tear up, create more elasticity within your dough. That's what people do for their bread, or used to do once upon a time. But some people still do it by hand, especially people do pizza dough. If you do pizza dough at home, that's the same principle. So not going to do that for 20 minutes as I have the machine. So that's going back into the mixer with a higher speed for another 5 minutes at least, and I will check again. As you see, my dough is not quite smooth as yet. Need a bit more work. So back into it. So let's check again now. So the best way, so you see here, it still needs a bit of development, I believe. I take a bit of flour, bit of the dough, and let's check again our dough development. So it's getting better, but it's not quite there yet. You can still few big lines, so let's keep working. All right, so let's check again. We should be fine now. Let's grab a bit of dough. Not done too much, just a little bit. Put a bit of flour on it. Too much. And let's check that window again. So we gently pull away. And what we check is those lines. You see that? That's pretty good. Look at that. The dough development here. And the lines are pretty much, the big lines are pretty much all gone. So I'm quite happy with that for homework. It's not too bad. So time to let that dough rest and make the yeast a bit of work. So I'm not going to place, so to show you, this is my dough now, see, way smoother. We work the elasticity. So what I'm going to do now is to let the dough rest in the same bowl for about 90 minutes. Cover it. Kneading process is done. In 90 minutes, we will degas our bread dough and start to shape it. Up. Just like that. See you later. Okay, so it's been 1.5 hours, 90 minutes, and look at that. I must say the process is quite fast today because it's about 26 degrees outside, which is a really good temperature for yeast to grow. So we got nice result, a little bit of fermentation here. I'm quite excited about it, so let's knock it back. Meanwhile, also I prepare a future with silicone paper just to make sure it doesn't stick. You will need a scale just to have the right measurement. So let's do this thing. So I'm going to drop the bread dough. Look, double in volume. So on the bench, you can use plastic cone if you want. And we are going to degas that. So really with your hand, just make sure you press down. So as I said, my dinner roll should be 50 grams and lunch about 70 grams. So that's really the difference between them two. So I'm just going to grab a knife. So let's take 64, a little bit too high. 45, a little bit down. So this is really if you want a regular rolls. Gram. Here we are. So gonna make 6 different dinner roll. I'm gonna show you for lunch roll. So 70. We've got a bit too excited here. 69. Oh, 68. Lucky. 69. Ooh, flirting. Now let's see how much I've got here. 560. So if I want to divide that in two, that's 280 each. Okay. So first thing first, I'm going to apply this one, bigger one. I'm going to give them already a pre-shape just by pulling and bring it back to the center and pushing. So it's you pre-roll them. And here, like I did in the sourdough, you can just tense them a little bit. Okay? And we are going to keep them on the side. So you see you have a roll and we want to be tense, not like this. So you could do like a big one and do that. And then fold them back. And with the pressure of your thumb, you push, you see that? And with the back, you push on the other side, which is give it a squeeze as well. So you gently put pressure and roll it. Have you noticed as I don't use flour on my bench? Let's make it easier. Now if you touch, they're bouncing. That's a good sign. So you don't want to overdo it, otherwise they tear. What you want is a nice smooth little skin, tight skin. And the bottom, something like that. That's an easy way to do it. Again, put the dough. What do you turn it upside down and put pressure. So not this, not this. Really get the hang of it. So I'm going to try to show you now from this angle. Bring, 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 upside down. Again, can you see? So slowly the motion is you push, you bring back, you push, you bring back, you push, you bring back. That tense the top skin, top of your bread roll. Let's make it nice. Look at them. The same if I don't want them to dry, up a little bit off. Here I will apply the same, but I can just do it from straight away, from rolling. Look at them, nice little balls. I'm gonna put them on the tray, give them a bit of space to make sure that they can double in size. That's the proving part. So we just cut and shape. Now we're going to do the proving part. But I'm going to show you some different shape now. So taking the same balls, what you can do is to push down a little bit, take your hand and roll them. Apply a little bit of pressure, just like that, and you could have them as mini baguette, or you can apply more pressure and do a loop like a knot and get the dough back inside, just like this. So again, pushing down, bring it. Bring it, apply some pressure, stretch to the side, from center to the side, a little knot, I'm no baker by any means. I just share a little bit of knowledge and I learned from my cookery and pastry background. But I know this works. Look at that. We have cute little bundle here. Back to my dinner roll. If you feel like they lose a little bit of shape, again, you can tense them. Here too, you could push it back down. Cover here to have a seam. You can push, you see how sticky it is? And shape it. So where the seam is needs to be at the bottom, so the seam is here. And here we are, different range, lunch roll, dinner roll. What I need to do now is to give them a bit of moisture due to the proving and because yeast love moisture. So I'm just gonna really put some water into it. You can use poppy seed. Here I'm just going to use chia seed for this one. It's in a roll here. One of those lunch rolls. You can keep them plain too. You can spread a little bit of rice flour. And now we need to do some cuts. So using a sharp blade, you can cut the dinner roll. You can also use the scissors. Dip the scissors in water first. can use a sharp knife. And cut them. So like this, we have different texture and little presentation. Now for proving. For proving at home, it's not easy because it all depends of the temperature you have. So it's a warm day for me here, so I'm quite lucky today. But if you are in a cold area, you might want to find a warm area close to the oven. And we need to have a little bit of humidity too. So what I often do is I use a tall glass on the tray like this. And I'm wrapping my tray into a plastic bag, just like that. Like this, you can see. You might not see with the angle, but I'm going to try to show you. The tray is dome, so the dough is not touched by the plastic. So here, my larger bread dough. So you see, you push a little bit, you can push again here if you want, just like that, and bring it back towards you or against you. So I'll show you the other way, because like this you can see, and with your hand create a seam. So our baguette has a little seam here, and now what we're going to do is like we did before. It's to tense our bread. You see the seam, and we're gonna, from the middle to the side, going to roll it, middle to the side, roll it. If you put your hand on an angle, you're gonna have pointy bit. Middle to the side. That's for our baguette. So you see the seam is just there, just right under here. So we're going to put it on the tray. Seam down. So same again here. So like here, back there, push, seam it up, push down to tense the baguette, seam here, and roll it. Try to apply the same pressure everywhere. And again, seam down, put it on the other side. So two nice little baguette. What we want through the prove it system is to have the dough to double in size as we bake. You could also, again on this one, apply citric acid. This one, a bit of rice flour. Have the baguette cut. And two-thirds of the dough and create an epi. So we're pushing the little bits of dough separate way. Oops. And check this out. Same principle here. I'm gonna use a tall glass. Clean bin bag. Wrap all the entire tray. Making sure the dough don't touch the plastic and in a warm area. Okay, it's been good 45 minutes, an hour, so let's have a look. Oh, let's go slow. Look at that. They are on fire. Good to go. Some are really good to go. Look at these guys. Nice fermentation. Look at those babies. Remove the glass gently. Now we check for the baguettes. That says very warm here. Ooh. Look at that too. Remove the glass. Check it out. Now it's time to place all of this in the oven. Boom. Place a cup of water. Yeah, and let's get baking. All right. Time to check if this baked. What's it? Bit of steam? Oh, those babies are good. Put them here. What about that? Can wait a little bit longer. Look at them. Nice air rolls. Look at this baby's little dinner roll, if you remember. I mean, lunch roll, this one. And that's my dinner roll. Freshly baked. Nice. How do we know they bake? Well, first they feel light. Second, they sound hollow. Hello. Hello. Oh, listen to that. Oh. Nothing like fresh bread. It's bloody hot. Pain maison or homemade bread. Baguette, Appetit, and rolls.